Welcome to another edition of the Food and Beer Show. Today we're in the gloriously sunny northwest of England and we're here on a journey to explore the joys of cheese and beer. In this episode I'm on a mission to turn a couple of die-hard wine buffs into born-again beer ambassadors for the wonderful world of cheese. My first challenge is to convince ex-soap star Sean Wilson, who swapped the cobbles of Weatherfield for life as an artisan cheesemaker. I'm here at the foot of the Pennines at the Hart's Head Inn. I'm going inside now to have a chat with Sean and we're going to match up some of his artisan cheeses with a little selection of beers. Corrie to cheese.
Yep.
In one foul swoop.
Well,
How did that come about?
I wish it was one foul swoop. Well, throughout the 20 odd years in Coronation Street, sat in the green room, very much interested in food, go out, buy cookbooks at lunchtime, study cookbooks, go home, cook. Coronation Street, where do I go on holiday? I went to France a lot because nobody recognises you over in France. Got to cut a long story short, got to know an awful lot about French cheeses, love of food of course, took me over there. And then came back over, left Coronation Street, went to work in a Michelin star restaurant for a while. I was invited by Nigel Howarth to work at the Northcote Manor.
Yeah, top bloke. Great chef.
Met the cheesemaker who delivers cheese there, a lovely guy called Bob Kitchen who hand makes Lancashire cheese. And Bob is the only one really to hand make Lancashire cheese because he makes it in such small quantities. And then Bob said, with that kind of experience, Sean, I can probably teach you, and that's where I am. I'm right here, right now.
Amazing, what a great story.
Now the youngest one, there's four cheeses
through these, yeah.
Okay, 4 handmade Lancashire cheeses. This is our Lancashire Crumbly, which traditionally should be young, so it's the youngest cheese on the board. This is probably about 6 weeks old. Lancashire Creamy, 12 weeks old, got a nice light creaminess to it, which actually grows and fills out. That's the handmadeness of it. Lancashire Tasty, 12 months old, for those that like a bigger flavour, and a rather sexy blue.
So,
like I say, this is the youngest one. It should be nice and crumbly and nicely acidic, so.
Do you know, I can actually see the cows there in the field when I taste that.
People say they can feel it just around here and the jaws. I can feel it. It's like a tightening. I don't know what it is.
I've started ruminating. Is that what cows do? They ruminate?
And it makes your nipples go out. I actually like the wheat beer because there is an acidity to that beer. Am I right?
Yeah.
And there's a slight sweetness to that beer.
Yeah. Compliments.
Yeah.
Contrast,
actually,
bring out the flavour.
It does. It does. It certainly doesn't fight it.
No, it doesn't. And what I love about, I mean, particularly with a cheese like that, I'd crumble that onto a salad. Wine, really hard to match with salads, especially when you've got a dressing on or something like that.
Yeah, true, yeah. Now the next one is the How's Your Father?
Okay.
Lancashire Creamy.
So let's have a dig into that.
One nibble and you're nobbled.
I love the names you've given to these. I mean, I love bringing humour into food.
Why not?
Well, absolutely.
Why not? Why is it got to be all highbrow when you buy, you know, artisan food? It shouldn't be that way.
With this one, Sean, I'm reckoning a Pilsner Lager.
Pilsner Lager.
It has that refreshing quality to it. That's what beer's got as well, which is great with cheese. It's got that slight effervescence, which lifts creaminess, fattiness, butteriness off the tongue.
There's butter in it.
Now,
so that kind of cleans.
I'll tell you what, that has now got more flavour than it had if I'd just had that on its own.
Absolutely, yeah.
That
I can
cheese
go with
brings
that.
out the flavour.
That butteriness has brought it out, yeah.
So, is this a more matured version of the creamy?
This
basically?
is 12 months matured.
Mouth Almighty?
Mouth Almighty, yeah. I called it Mouth Almighty, another good Lancashire saying. Who do you think you are, Mouth Almighty? So, very rich and creamy.
Oh, mate. Okay, well let's go for the old Thwaites.
Okay.
The Wainwright here.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Nostra vie.
Yeah.
This is a bit more of a malty beer, and you need something a bit
smooth.
It is. It is smooth, but you need something a bit stronger, a bit more robust, to go against the more full flavour that you've got in that cheese.
Okay, otherwise something might just disappear and hide. Now then.
The biggest flavour, I guess, we're saving till last, both on beer and on cheese.
Well, this is the multi-award-winning Smelly Apeth.
I'm loving the look of this. I mean, I do love me blue cheese, I've got to say.
This won the World Cheese Award in its class in November.
I've selected a stout here, and what I'm thinking is, because it has got that sweetness to it in that cheese, and I think there's obviously
Slight
bitterness in
saltiness.
here, so we've got a nice contrast.
Okay. Let's go, Joe. Oh, I see what you're saying. The bitterness of it against the creaminess of that and slight sweetness. As soon as you taste it, you can feel like a balancing effect going on in the mouth.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, you are, absolutely. And I think what that does, that actually rounds off some of the harshness of the bitterness of the beer. It makes it more smooth, it makes it more creamy.
Yeah, very good. Now you're whistling Dixie.
And again, but it's amazing how the cheese just plays with those flavours of Guinness a little bit, and it disguises it.
We should push that because we sell that in Ireland as well.
There you go. Cheese and beer match of the week.
I'm going to have some more of that. That's nice
Well,
cheese.
let's keep going because we've got a few to get through.
It's in good form.
So what do you think, Sean?
Well, it's been an eye-opener, Richard, to be honest, because it's the kind of, when you're a cheesemaker, you often talk about, oh, we must do this and we must do that and we must do the other, but you're so busy dashing around the country and then making cheese and going to different festivals. It's not often we get a chance. We've talked about it, but actually to go through this experiment with you has been really good and quite enlightening, because there's a lot more to that than I thought. I thought it was going to be a lot more of trial and error, but you've done the trial and error. So I've kind of leapfrogged.
I've done the work for you.
Yeah,
now
you have.
Can just enjoy the,
you
taste
have.
sensations.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
Mate, it's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely, I've loved it.
My eyes have been opened to Lancashire cheese as well.
Good.
So,
Good, because Lancashire cheese is often kind of benign with their southern people, so it's nice that you've tasted it and
well, what I'd
more
like
power
to
to
do,
its elbow.
What I'd like to do, I'm going to see a mate of mine who's got a pub called the Lord Binninger in Cheshire.
Okay.
And now he won't be particularly embracing Lancashire cheeses, I wouldn't imagine.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
But I'd like to take him that as a present, the crumbly.
Okay. Yeah, well, it'll be a good, because of course he'll have opinions about crumbly cheese, so it'll be interesting.
Well, I'm going to get him into Lancashire chease.
Get his nipples going.
Well, I will see if I won't tell him about that. And
No.
I'll just go like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll work in Cheshire.
Mate, nice one.
Great, cheers. Oh, I've not
That'll
gone
do.
on left. There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
All the best. All the best.
Be satisfied for the rest of my life. So don't show me something new.
So I think I've convinced Sean that beer with cheese is the way forward. So now, on the next part of my journey, I've come over to Cheshire, famous for its cheese. I'm going to try and convert my mate David, who's chef proprietor here of the Lord Binning, who's got a fantastic cheese board, that beer with his cheeses is the way forward. I've got Sean Cheese to help me as well. Right, mate, I come bearing gifts
From Lancashire?
from Lancashire. May I present to you a bit of Saddleworth crumbly Lancashire cheese.
Well, I'll reserve judgment. I'm sure it is absolutely fantastic. But you are aware we do have cheese in Cheshire, aren't you?
I am indeed,
Good.
and I'm quite excited about it because I've come bearing more gifts as well, as you can
Oh,
see
have you?
here. Yeah, I have. Yeah,
Here's
yeah.
a first.
I'm a very generous man, David.
Can I try
as
this
you know.
now?
No, give it a little go. See
I'm
what you
gonna
think.
try it.
Because I know that you wouldn't touch anything that's out of your, 4-mile radius of existence here.
Yeah, it's all right. It's very nice, actually. Really nice.
Well, actually, if we're on that one, because I've brought some beers as well. So they're pretty extreme, these. We've got from Tatton Brewery White Queen. We've got an 8.5%, which might appeal to you, vintage ale, like a barley wine. And your everyday raspberry wheat beer.
Of course, yeah, we quite
Yeah.
often. Probably
on.
5 a day.
So
Right,
I'm-
we have got here Tyresford Brie, which is the most phenomenal brie. From stand on the table, look out that window, you can see where that's made.
Let's give that a go.
And then here, which goes in with this, because this is from where this is from, Knutsford. This is a Delamere goat's cheese, soft goat's cheese, and we just get that, and it's just a lovely, pure, fresh-tasting goat's cheese. It's going to work.
That is going to work. You know that's going to work with this wheat beer as well, for those herbal, zesty elements that are in it.
it just picks off, doesn't it? Just picks off the top flavours out of there, and that just really runs through it. Love it.
Also, that's quite a creamy cheese as well. It coats the mouth.
Yeah,
and
very.
that has got that lovely sort of effervescent quality
Viscous.
that refreshes the palate.
That's-
I want to go for Sean's cheese next.
Missionary work, I see. Is that
That-
about me 5 a day?
Is a raspberry wheat beer.
A raspberry?
Raspberry.
A raspberry?
Raspberry.
It's like your sort of cheese and chutney ensemble all
Exactly.
together.
Exactly. It's
A little bit
liquid
sweet.
chutney.
Yeah.
This 8.5%. Not one to down by the pint, my friend. This is, there you go,
Oh my lord.
barley wine, which actually isn't wine at all. It's beer. This is actually vintage dated. You can lay this down for years and it will mature.
Well,
now,
are we going to do this with...
it's big and powerful.
Well, I'm bringing out my big boy. This is my
Okay.
top trump here.
Right.
Blue Cheshire, the oldest blue cheese in the world. Romans left this for us. It's a strong boy, this one.
What's that crunch in it? Is that actual salt crystals or something?
Well, because underneath us, if you dig down, that's
Whoa.
why our roads never freeze, because they're built on salt. And that is a very salty, beautiful blue cheese, matured.
This, with that, when they work together, they produce something they don't just produce on their own.
That's exactly, I think, I don't think you could drink many glasses
No,
of that. And I think you couldn't, let's be honest, eat a huge amount of that. But that is just a classic, a little of the best.
This is a food beer.
Definitely.
You need
Without
to
a
take
shadow.
that powerful,
And
pungent edge
unfortunately,
off
you would
it.
have to share that bottle. And 3 beers that are so different, it's untrue. And the same as with food. The food breadth of taste is so massive, and you can have all these wonderful beers, and everything matches up so well.
So, do you feel inspired after that little taste experience?
I've just come up with the most brilliant idea. A cask flight, a third of a pint of cask ale with 3 different cheeses. Heaven, heaven, heaven.
Brilliant.
3 times over.
Have you got the little special glasses for it?
We've got those already, so we can do those down the middle and the cheeses around the outside. What more? That is a ploughman's lunch.
Mate, that is genius. Inspiration. I never doubted you for a minute.
You always do. You know that.
Cheers,
Very
David.
happy days.
Indeed.
Good to see you.
Likewise.